Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch You Want, and thanks for logging on. Today we're looking at the Patek Philippe Nautilus Chronograph, reference 5980-1A. You can see this 40.5mm stainless steel Patek Philippe Nautilus Chronograph on our website, watchyouwant.com. Click the card in the upper right-hand corner of this video to go to our product listing with prices at any time, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. While I have filmed a video of the Nautilus 5980, I took one look of it and I thought, honestly, it looks like one of those really old episodes of The Simpsons where they look, sound, and act so different, you feel like you must be watching Mickey Mouse and Steamboat Willie. So this watch, quite frankly, deserves a better modern format video with wrist shots, so I'm redoing the 5980 here. Now you can see 14.5mm thick. It does have a fair amount of stack height for a Nautilus. While this reference is typically known for being thin and sporty, the 5980 leans more on the side of sporty than svelte. You can see that the case flank is generously sloped, however. The combination of the outboard wing at 3 o'clock and the conical bezel allowing a dress cuff or tight sleeve to ride up over this watch in spite of its girth. Now, while 40.5mm across what might be described as the round of the case, the true measurements as they apply to this watch are 46.5mm from lug to lug, and you can see the pin bar pivot points. But outboard of the rigid portions of the bracelet, that is to say, the portions that will not bend or conform to the curvature of a wrist, you're actually looking at about 54mm at the outboard extremity. So the watch does wear large between the thickness, the heft, and the flare from that 54mm rigid span. So this is a large timepiece, and it can be considered one of the largest wearing Patek Philippe timepieces, but what touches the skin is of unarguable quality. The beautiful taper of the bracelet and the finish on the top side is matched by the souplesse against the skin and intelligent channeling between the lugs on the bottom side such that it feels silky, and the broad clearances allow it to avoid pinching skin or pulling hair. Now, a very high grade double deployant clasp fits easily on a smaller wrist. It doesn't have that one huge up and over of a single fold deployant, and when it is buckled, it's secured with a Calatrava cross style clamshell. So that clamshell, which creates an almost invisible partition point, allows immense security when closed without an abundance of mechanism or apparatus. Very subtle, elegant, and yet very secure. And this is a true sports watch in every sense. With 120-meter water resistance, it outclasses certain 100-meter Rolex sports watches in that regard. With a screw-down crown, it is immensely practical, and this could be your everyday companion. With a combination of a jump date and a chronograph, immense water resistance, and the versatility of the classic timeless, and this year, 40-year-old Nautilus styling, this could be your only watch, your all-the-time watch. And if it's going to be your one and only, you may as well top it off with a hidden complication. You can see the chronograph, you can see the date. What you can't see until it's activated is the flyback chronograph function, a feature of all watches employing the base caliber CH28520. It's featured on the 5960 and the 5980, but very rarely spoken about. Now, the characteristics of this watch that define it are the monocounter at 6 o'clock and the gradient style Nautilus dial. The Nautilus dial with gradient and horizontal striations harks back to the original 1976 Gerald Genta 3700. Now, the watch features a family resemblance to that pioneering reference, but it departs with the use of the monocounter at 6 o'clock, and this is an essential part of the 5980 concept. By featuring superimposed hour and minutes hands, Patek Philippe gives this watch dial a symmetry and a character completely unique. It doesn't spoil the traditional Gerald Genta lines, and at the same time it conveys all of the triple register information expected of a modern chronograph. The watch also features one quirk inherited from its sister reference, the 5960, and that is a calendar system operated by a case flank pusher, which you can see right here. It does actuate the date, so this watch, featuring a flyback chronograph and a pusher actuated date, is a little bit quirky, but hey, that's called character. All the traditional Nautilus styling elements, from the beautifully finished and integrated bracelet to the flanking wings at 3 and 9 o'clock, the strong taper of the case into the bracelet, and the octagonal rounded off bezel are present and correct. Now, as mentioned earlier, this watch featured a pioneering caliber that debuted in 2006 during the last major anniversary of the Nautilus, 2006, the 30th. That saw the debut of this reference as the first ever Nautilus chronograph, and the refinements to this movement are many. Now, this is one of the earlier examples, built between 2006 and 2009, featuring the Poinçon de Genève, or the Geneva hallmark, on the bridges, later supplanted by the Patek Philippe seal. Both are finished to impeccable quality. Some simply favor the earlier Poinçon de Genève as a more romantic tradition and standard. Now, it does feature all of the modern standards. It features a vertical clutch, it features column wheel function selection, it features a free-sprung Gyromax style balance, it features ceramic winding rotor bearings at center. It does feature a 50 to 55 hour power reserve, so solidly more than the industry standard, and even a fair bit more than most Patek Philippe references, powered by the calibers 240 and 324. Now, with the vertical clutch, you're able to keep the center seconds hand, the chronograph center seconds hand, engaged full time. So while the watch has no constant seconds indicator on its dial, because of the vertical clutch, there's no additional wear and tear on the movement if you do want to leave the chronograph running, so you can have hours, minutes, and seconds at center. The column wheel is very crisp. When actuating the functions, you can hear it, you can feel it, very precisely tuned. Everything is up to the Patek Philippe standard, mechanically and aesthetically. Case, dial, movement. This was a trendsetter when it came out in 2006. 10 years later, as we approach another great Nautilus anniversary, it continues to set the pace. You can see this Patek Philippe Nautilus chronograph, reference 5980 1A in stainless steel, on our website, watchyouwant.com.